Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the first of three prediction shows for tonight, but the first of one in the world of boxing. We've been vocal about it this week, boys. The action, especially on Saturday, is in the UFC. Obviously, some interesting goings on today with the president of the UFC linking up with Turki Al-Sheikh. We'll give reaction to that maybe a little bit later in the week. But let's focus on Friday night at the Royal Albert Hall, and we're going with the main event here. Natasha Jonas versus Lauren Price. You got the WBC, IBF, WBA, IBO, and Ring Magazine. I've tried to remember that off the top of my head. I think I'm right there. There's just no WBO belt on the line, basically, put it that way. Jay, I know you're a massive Tasha Jonas fan, so I'm going to open the floor up to Mr. Liam Tully, first of all, to give me his thoughts on the matchup, and then we'll get straight into the predictions, boys.
It's a great fight. It's one we've wanted for over a year now. Before Price fought McCaskill, we were saying these two girls need to fight. Finally, they're getting it on another all-female card at a historic venue. Look what Tasha's done since being cast aside by Matchroom in the aftermath of losing to Katie Taylor, moving up to 154, first of all, to win her first world title, now unifying down at 147. Look, in the latter years of her career, we don't need to go on any more about the age. We talked about that enough last night. She is absolutely maximised more than she probably ever thought she'd get from the game, especially after retiring as well. Is this just a fight too far? Is Lauren Price going to be too fresh and maybe a bit more hungry than her? I'm not saying that's how I feel myself, but that is the narrative. I mean, look, Lauren Price has the pedigree as an amateur. She's come through Olympic champion, world amateur champion. She's starting to come into her own in the pros. We've seen her power, both the way she beat up and broke down McCaskill and obviously stopping Bexy Mathias last time out. Look, it's a great matchup, and I think however long this fight lasts, it's going to be a good scrap. It's Tasha's come forward aggressive style against the more back foot boxing style of Lauren Price, and they're both southpaws. There shouldn't be any of the clashes we had last weekend from Donovan and Crocker. They should both be able to exert themselves in it. Look, let's just hope come the end of the fight, we got a clear winner and we're not having the debate we often have with women's fights. If the rounds were a minute longer, it would have been clearer. You can see it already. You know they're very well matched, these two girls. We know they're the highest level of this division, so we just want a clear and decisive outcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Jay, before I come to you, my friend, we've got Humble Crumble in the chat. Hope you're well, as always. Humble Crumble, thanks for joining us. Jonas by stoppage. I won't pull up the next comment because we'll give Jay his say now. He won't be pleased by it. It means Price. Jay, go on, mate.
It is what it is. Listen, as Liam said, Price has got a fantastic pedigree. What people are also forgetting is she was in one of the worst Olympic cycles ever, right? Tasha went in when the Olympic cycle was at its strongest, when all the big girls were in there. I don't mean as in physically big, but all the big names, Nicola Adams, Katie Taylor, they were all in there. I'm not saying it's, she's been spoon-fed an Olympic gold, but she was in a pretty easier cycle than some have had it. Not just Jonas, because Jonas, did what she did in the Olympics. For me, it's a test for both of them. It's a test of what Tasha's got left, and it's also a test of, is Price as good as they're all saying she is? She's meant to be the poster girl of Welsh boxing. She's meant to be one of the greatest female boxers known to man. Woman or beast, I have to be careful, don't have thems. I'm not sold on her, whether I'm a Tasha Jonas fan or not. Everybody knows that Tasha Jonas, I'm a weirdo for her. But I know boxing, and Tasha's proven at domestic and world level. Let's not forget, when she got beat by Katie Taylor, that could have gone either way, that fight. Some people gave it to Jonas. Yes, she's been stopped. She had a little blip. Ever since then, she hasn't put a foot wrong. She's either stopped or blasted everybody she's fought. Lauren Price has not blasted anybody up until her last fight. She looks really good on the eye. She's really fast. She's really skillful. But Tasha can fight. What I'd like to see at the weekend is whether Lauren can actually fight. Because she hasn't had to have a fight yet, has she really? McCaskill was shot when she fought her. Useless. The last girl didn't look like she should have been in there for a world title fight, right? So, we're going to see a proper fight. And I believe that this will be the toughest. Well, we know on paper it's the toughest test, but I think physically this will be the toughest test. And if Price turns up like she's saying she's going to turn up and expects to just turn up and win, she'll be in for a surprise, mate. I expect it to be a tough, close fight, but I expect it to be a fight more than a boxing match.
Yeah, Price is coming in with like an air of arrogance. Sometimes that's a good thing for a fighter, though, because you know they need to have that.
Listen, it's unjustified, though. She needs to be very, very careful. Yes, she's an Olympic medalist. She's not done anything in the pro game. Yes, she's a champion in her own right. Listen, I could get one of my daughters to turn over, and within 18 months, I could have her fighting for a domestic title. Within another 12 months, watch out for Ava Murphy, mate. Just watch out. But what I'm saying is, it is easier to win a title. I don't mean physically easier. I'm on about it's easier to get the matchups made because the divisions are a lot smaller. So it's easier to get a world title in your 10th, 11th, 12th fight. I'm not dismissing that as a title in itself. I'm on about.
Look at some of the dross we've been served up. You only need to look at Price's last opponent.
So we'll see if she really is. Listen, if she beats Tasha Jonas, hands up, mate. She's not proved me wrong, but she's made me see that she possibly is as good as what they say she is. But I haven't seen anything yet to justify that, because they're all one-sided beatdowns that we've seen so far, and not because she's that good, because the sparse pickings for female elite world-level fighters. It's not as flooded as men. In another 5-10 years, it'll be totally different. But until then, it's slim pickings. I'm still intrigued by the fight.
This is the $1 million question. Is Jonas still too good for Price? Look, I think the narrative about the age thing, I do think that that's not as big a factor as it's being played out to be. You got like a 40-year-old versus a 30-year-old on paper. But Tasha's, not a typical 40-year-old. Now, obviously, I spoke about the Beterbiev thing. He's 40. Look what he's doing. Yes, I know Beterbiev's probably, a generational talent level kind of fighter. Both him and Bivol are exceptional. But, just because she's 40 years old, I don't think you can rule her out. Boys, I'm gonna move to the predictions now.
Are you fucking trying to make me feel fucking old here, mate? Fucking hell.
Not me for a change, mate. I've got that shit.
I'm nearly 50, goddammit. Leave me alone, man.
Hey,
you're not that old.
You're on Misfits soon, mate. You're coming into your peak.
Mate, the backpedaling there, first class, Sam.
Beep, beep.
Oh, I love it. Right, boys, give me your predictions.
Draw.
Backing it.
I think we're going to get a draw. No, I think we're going to get a draw, yeah.
Do you know what? That's not actually that far-fetched. You
know that I'm a Tasha Jonas super fan, so if anyone's going to pick her, it's me. I've just got a funny feeling that we're going to get a draw. And we're going
I think it'll be close. It'll be close, won't it? I think.
Yeah.
By the way, Lauren Price is a heavy favourite, and I just don't.
Yeah.
She might win, fair enough. I don't think she should be as big a favourite as she is, personally. But I don't know. Maybe
did you not say that in some? They will not stop taking money on her.
In America, apparently, someone commented on my video saying that. Yeah.
That's crazy. We'll have to ask Chilltown.
Yeah, definitely. How do you see it, Liam?
Look, I gave a prediction last night of Jonas winning, but the more I think about it, and Jay's right, they are very evenly matched, and it's the 2-minute round thing that always sits in my head when it's a really competitive female fight. You're more likely to get a draw. I back my Jonas prediction still, but a draw is highly likely, I think, just because of how evenly matched they are.
Yeah, a lot of the time, you can hear someone picking a draw and you're like, oh, who picks a draw? But yeah, I see exactly where you're coming from. I will agree with Liam, to be fair. And I don't know whether it's because I think she's being disrespected a little bit, but I think Jonas has got one last big night in her. Honestly, do. I think she's going to sneak it on points. Look, it's going to be, like, put it this way. I know this sounds contradictory because I picked Jonas to win. I think if Jonas wins, it's going to be close on the cards. I think if Lauren Price wins, it'll be wide on the cards, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go towards the Jonas. Maybe I'm being a little bit, not biased towards her, but like I think she's been a bit disrespected in the build-up. I think this is a closer fight on paper than it's being made out to be. So yeah, I'm going with Jonas. Liam's edging Jonas, and Jay's going for the draw. So that just tells you how close of a fight is. I don't care what either woman's price, that it's a good fight on paper, and it's going to be interesting to watch on Friday night. So we'll be there for the three of us, Royal Albert Hall. We'll do the watch along for the biggest fight in boxing, especially this weekend. Anyway, moving on into the world of MMA, we'll give our co-main and main event predictions to UFC 313 in the next minute or so. We'll start with co-main, Gaethje, Fiziev, and then obviously Alex Pereira and Kalaev after that. Jay Liam, pleasure as always. Humble Apple Crumble and everyone else who watched, appreciate it. We'll catch you in a few minutes.
You stuck an apple in there.